evening. As you can see, my name is Moses, and my story starts with when I was 4. My grandmommy, she gave me an harmonica. She used to play it to me, and she was playing one harmonica in one hand, and the other hand she was playing a little keyboard, Bon Tempi from the 60. At the time, it was pretty technological for me to see a 5 years old. I was so shocked. So I began to have contact with music. I started to study piano when I was around 6, 7. My parents, they allowed me to study with a teacher, private one, and I felt so lucky because he opened me so many windows. But there was a problem that I couldn't be able to study music because I I was not feeling it in the way to kind of in person the people that was actually the author of the thesis. So I was like a bad student, as you can say today, you know. So I wouldn't study music. I wanted just to get in contact with notes, with sounds. So I started, getting more involved until the point that when I have been to the high school, I asked to my parents, "Can I go to the music school and conservatory?" And they told me, "No." I mean, like, you have something to do. Like, you are a mathematic mind. You're very talented in this. It's better for you to do that. And I went on the scientific course, and I've been very good in that. And then at university, I wanted to have a university of art. And my parents, they told me, "It's better for you to study physics because you are a genius." And I was like, "Okay, let's study physics." And so on, I reached 22 years old, and suddenly I was kind of finishing the university. I had 5 exams to be degreed in physics, and I lost one of my best friend. And from the day I changed, I snapped. I said, "No, I'm not gonna study anymore that." But you know why? Not because they forced me, because I was not strong. And I understood that from the day to start from zero. And I said, what I want to be in the life. I'm a street artist. I'm a composer in my mind. I have something to say. So I took the harmonica my grandmother gave me, and I went to London when I had my girlfriend at the time, Sylvia, that now she's my wife. And I started to be on the street, and I was zero knowledge at the time of harmonica, even though my grandmommy, she always told me studying it, like I just play it, and I was just playing, yeah, but nothing serious. And I've been on the street, and people were asking me, "How could you pretend to go in London and make a kind of revenue and be a professional artist at 23 years old without having a clue on the harmonica?" And from that, there was my challenge. And I start to think, what was the point? What was my purpose in life? And I find it. Because my grandmother, I didn't explain before, but my grandmother, it kind of lived my same situation years before, because she was deaf and she was playing harmonica and she was playing the keyboard to me. But people in my house, in my family, they were laughing on her because, like, being deaf, she was going out with melodies and something that was not proper musically correct, as may say a music teacher. And that was the point when I understood that the emotion pass anyway, beside what is your technical approach, beside what is your scales you're using, beside what is your preparation in that matter. And at 23 years old, I start to be on the street with this mentality. And one day I said, "Okay, I'm gonna start." I took like an amplifier. I had like 100 euro in my card. I bought this amplifier for 50 quid. I had to need a lead to plug on this. It was 3 volts, so only me could listen to it. Basically, in the streets of London, you can imagine so loud, cars passing, buses, double stage. And so I started to play in this alley in a shopping center, and after 5-10 minutes, I was playing, and I remember this lady was passing by, and then she stopped. And she could have been like my grandmother. She was an old lady, but with the heart that she saw me in the eyes, and in that moment, she picked up 1 coin, and she gave it to me in the hat, and that was my first coins, you know. That was the first I received in a city in which I was the last one. But everyone start as last. When you start something, you're always the last starting that. And I understood this, and from that day, I realized that I could do that. Even though people were saying me like, you are a genius in mathematics, you don't understand nothing about music. Because they don't know me. I knew me, and I know me now that I can. So I've been on the street 8 hours a day, and I've been playing every day. When it was raining, I was taking my stuff, going under a bridge or whatever in a building, and then waiting. When it was again sun, I was going out again and start playing my stuff and start playing again. So what is the point of why I'm here, saying all this story, and you're like, what? The point I wanna share with you is that it's not important what people say to you, but it's more important what is the perception of yourself meanwhile they're saying that. When they say you are not able, but you think you are, no one can touch you. But if you think you are weak and you know you're weak, you're gonna fail. And fail, I understood, is not a problem. It's part of my success nowadays. I faced so many times in my life, so many, that now without that failing, I wouldn't be here. They wouldn't invite me around the world to play harmonica. They wouldn't invite me in Dornbirn to say my story. Because like failing is not a problem. Failing is necessary to achieve the success. The point to fail is to fail knowing that you're not gonna stop. That's the point, is to fail knowing you're not gonna stop. And that's when I keep on going, and in 2016 I was kind of 26, 25, and they invite me after these years in the street in which I've been developing my skills a bit. They invite me in a TV show, Italia's Got Talent, and I was shocked. I said, me? Are you serious? Like, okay. I went there. We were 35,000 participants, and I trusted myself, and I won the Italy's Got Talent. And from the day I've been experiencing that it's not important to think what is right to you. It's important to not put limits in what you are doing. And that day I won the Italy's Got Talent, it was another chapter in my life that teach me that what is your dream, you're gonna achieve it. Whatever is gonna happen is gonna be the engine for your life. Losing my best friend, not having a clue about harmonica, having a grandmother that was not able to play harmonica, but she was playing, just snap on my head. She points some ideas, and I built my strength behind that. So I'm very emotional today. I hope really that this word can inspire you. And I draw like with a friend like this kind of monkey that is a imagine action. And why imagine action? Because like now you have the possibility to change your life. And the day I choose to be the harmonica beatboxer, I began that in that precise second. I began the harmonica beatboxer, the original, the original one, because I just expressed myself. I didn't know what it was like the the future, but I know the present. I want to play. So if you have a dream in your life, don't allow people to bring you down. And even though, like my parents, they always said this for the good of me, to not go to the University of Art, to not go to the conservatory, they did it for good. But I should be able to understand what's the best for me. And it's different from the good, because many things can be good, but the best is only one. And I needed to find that. And I needed to find that. So nowadays, when I play, I understood that it's not a technical approach that I'm gonna show you now. It's just a driving your emotion and mind through this place, through this theater, and having an experience. That's what music is about. It's not about the sounds. That's the harmony that is making the influence. Me, I don't wanna be influencing you. Me, I wanna like be like a train. I wanna take you to this journey and make you think and realize during my performance that every sounds come from ourself. It brings inside a quantity of emotion that you cannot imagine. So put in yourself, put in your action intention. Don't put problems, don't put limits in what you are, in what you express. Don't allow people to put limits in you, but you need to change the perception of yourself. Okay, I'm gonna play now.